All right. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Hello? All right. So we're going to go ahead and begin the ambassador sync. So to kick off some things, we're just going to talk about some of the changes that have been brought to the ambassador program. Um, to begin, I'll go ahead and start off with the obvious changes. So the regional change has been brought in. Instead of having just like a global international community where we were divided by languages, we decided to take a more structured approach and divide everything into regions to simplify things as well as allow some organization for the program. We're going to talk a little bit about those changes that happened, as well as some of the exciting stuff on the tech side of things. We have our very own founder, Dakota, here with us. He's going to talk about that.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
But without further ado, we can get into some of the updates. So we do have as well like a list of global ambassadors to kind of recognize um, for everyone to get familiar with. Just kind of introduce everybody. First, we have 123 Tiger as well as Sihon 187 and Electrovenic as the Eastern European region global ambassadors. Um, we have H. Yunus as well as Chris Malise right here as the Northwest African um, global ambassadors. Nada Shakrip right here, she's leading East Asia. Um, Shitty right here, he's leading, I believe it is the West African region. Strodeth is leading Latin America, and Vorios and Cap are leading Western Europe. There are a couple global regions right now that either just they didn't have the community size to support a global ambassador or regional ambassadors, or there just weren't people in those slots yet to fill those positions. And we'll be getting to them as we can as time goes on. Um, a couple other smaller updates would be
I just wanted to chime in real quick on the like the global roles and everything, expanding like the program in that aspect.
go ahead.
Because I just want to say it is as the program grows. And as we mentioned, there's some changes, specifically like with leadership structure of the program. So with that, there's also there's opportunities arise. So if you notice in your region, if there is if you're an active ambassador. And you notice a vacancy in a leadership position that is above you, or whether that is a regional ambassador role or a global ambassador role. Again, if you're active in the community and you feel like you deserve that shot, we apologize if we haven't like proactively reached out to you. Again, it's a really, really large program, a lot of amazing ambassadors. So sometimes it is easy to overlook things. But if you feel that's the case, then by all means, reach out, throw your name in the ring, because we definitely appreciate people who are willing to proactively take such initiative as well. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. If you notice there's a vacancy and you're up to the task and you're active in the program, then by all means reach out. Reach out to Get Richardson or reach out to any InvArch member. I'm a bit busier, but as long as I do see it, then I will act on it. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for everyone. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. Um, yeah, absolutely. We need to fill those slots as soon as we can, but obviously we don't want to rush anything. So anybody, like he said, who is interested in filling up those positions of leadership, please either get with a regional ambassador or global ambassador. Let them know, and they will relay the message in the right direction. All right. So to get into some of these changes that has taken place, I'll go ahead and open up the handbook as well. Um, Major update to the handbook. There's a couple new pages in there. Um, we listed a very thorough process of how to actually promote from basically apprentice ambassador, which we haven't had any of yet, That's going to change really soon. We kind of put a small pause on accepting ambassadors once we realized the major update that we wanted to go ahead and launch. Reason being is because we kind of limited things to regional size, so we had to get things into perspective first before we could begin accepting more ambassadors. Now that we have those things in place, you'll be able to see recruitment pick back up again here shortly. Another side thing is I'm currently the only person who accepts the applications and reviews them. And I've been on a slight little break the past 6 days because my daughter was recently born. So I've appreciated everyone's patience in the community with me while I've kind of been, relaxing, taking those key moments with the first newborn. Not first newborn, but first moments with your newborn. So, but aside from the once again, we have clear instructions now listed in here of how to promote up in the ambassador program. We had a lot of people who wanted to become senior ambassadors when that was the role. Now it's regional ambassadors, and they didn't know how to, and that was very frustrating for them. So that was one of the things we wanted to highlight and make sure that it was very clearly thorough, explained how you can move up, how to go about things. We have a new submission table. We've kind of added in some new submission types as well as limited different submission groups to different categories of ambassadors. So, like, as you all know, regional ambassadors can do highlight videos, Twitter threads, and article translations. And then the regular ambassadors currently are just focused on community growth, just regular infographics, TikToks, as well as informative articles. And then global ambassadors will have one really key kind of submission category as in the near future, whenever we can get things kind of finalized as far as a budget goes. For sponsoring such events, we want our global ambassadors to begin leading in-person events, which will be very exciting. Let me see here. We've also listed in here because one issue that was pretty common, ambassadors were getting familiar with the program, reading the handbook. However, it wasn't stated in the handbook the proper submission format for final submission. So we had a lot of people submitting them in the improper way and getting upset saying, hey, I don't understand why my submission was rejected. I did it exactly the way I thought I was supposed to. I put it in final submissions and you told me it was wrong. We've listed it in the handbook now. It's in that section near the program hierarchy. Um, just a clear explanation of what we expect for a final submission. That way, it's very obvious as to what's going to be accepted and then what's not. As well as we've listed out a couple additional opportunities just for people. Ambassadors are currently able to receive extra points for inviting new members to the Discord community and then having just those members shout out the ambassador. They only need to shout you out one time in the proper channel. 5 members will earn you 1 point. After 10 shout outs, you get 2. 25, you get 3 points. 50 members, you get 4. And 100 members, you get 10. So there is incentive there to bring organic community growth back onto the table as well. Some motivation for people to want to become regional ambassadors, stepping up into that role, is they actually receive an allowance. It's not just, hey, we're asking you to step into this responsibility where you have these things that you got to review and you have these moderation responsibilities. At a bare minimum, if you're unable to somehow make submissions now because you're caught up doing these responsibilities, you're still going to earn points towards the program. And we say it's a decent amount of points still. I mean, just from doing the responsibilities that come with it. Global ambassadors get a little bit more of a allowance, and then people who also help us with moderation across multiple social channels earn extra points as well.
I just want to backtrack real quick to the ambassador like shout outs, because this is really important because we've already caught a handful of individuals trying to do so. Um, yeah, even across different languages, we have very say loyal global ambassadors who also catch things and point them out. We're looking for organic growth. So it's just forewarning. If you get caught, trying to incentivize or bribe or establish any form of inorganic growth, creating fake accounts, so on and so forth. If you get caught, it's we take a lot of pride in integrity. If you get caught doing that, that's a really quick one way ticket to get kicked out of the program, and it's kind of a silly thing to get to do, if you ask me. Doesn't help the project, and it puts yourself at risk for being in the program. So just want to highlight that we want people, we love the community growth, we want that. It's really really important that we expand our reach and we make as many people as possible aware of InvArch and technology and what we aim to do. But only if it's organic and healthy. That's all that matters, really.
Yeah, yeah, we couldn't agree more with what Dakota just said. Like, um, we want everyone to be bringing as many people to the project as they're able to. But once again, if you're caught creating multi accounts, trying to freelance or incentivize inorganic growth, it's a quick one way ticket to being banned. Um, and definitely kicked out of the program at a minimum, potentially possibly banned from the server completely.
No,
So,
it doesn't say that in the book. You just follow the handbook. You just be kicked out of the program.
okay. Um, as well as one thing that not everybody has done so far, but I wanted to point it out again, just because it's a quick, easy way to receive points. We now have a Gleam.io submission rewards thing. If you register with our Gleam.io, which basically all it is you verifying that you are following our Twitter account, that your Twitter account, you synchronize it with it, and that's all it does. It verifies for us that, hey, they are following the Twitter account. At the end of every round, I just did it this round and counted the points towards it. If you're an ambassador and you've submitted that, you earn an additional 5 points. So if you are an ambassador and you had not submitted to Gleam.io, you should go and do that. That way, come this next round, you receive extra additional points simply for following our Twitter page.
We actually, I apologize because Casey was with his newborn, wasn't able to attend on a more recent meeting we had where we discussed a surprise that we have for everyone. Um, Remind me that the NFTs banners they're coming. They're gonna drop very soon. Just want to I don't want to announce beforehand. I just wanted to happen, surprise everyone, and then do it. But anyway, otherwise, what I was gonna say is I'm kind of a this is impromptu, not planned to announce this just yet, but I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's cool. Um, One a campaign that we're going to be doing, and I'm sharing this with everyone as ambassadors. That very very soon we're finalizing everything now regarding like the PR of our seed round with a major crypto publication media source, and then we'll branch out from there. But what we're getting ready to launch for our community is, if you've noticed, whether you follow InvArch in the Discord, if you've seen videos, or if you follow us on Twitter or LinkedIn, you may have noticed that the InvArch team has started to have meetings in virtual reality in VR. Um, we think it's really, really awesome. And while it's not the metaverse, it's just an Oculus. It's Meta. It's Facebook. It's not the metaverse. However, it's still a fantastic experience. It's amazing team building, and it's something that we kind of want to share or give the opportunity to share with the community. So we're going to be doing a giveaway. Um, the actual again, this is a little insider thing just between us and you guys here in the meeting. We'll make a formal announcement to the world in the coming days. But we're going to launch a campaign to where we have three Oculus Quest 2s, the headsets. We have three of them. We're going to be doing a giveaway. Of those three, one of them we're going to make sure is only an ambassador. So one of them will be reserved for an ambassador to win. Two of them will be reserved just for the general public to win. But we're going to be giving away all three of them during a campaign. The campaign is going to be centered around our Twitter account. So make sure that you follow InvArch on Twitter. Or, like the tweet of the announcement, sharing, spreading it, sharing it to friends and so on, increases your number of entries. So that's like what you can expect there. And another thing that we're going to be extending to the three winners, the three individuals who end up winning the Oculus Quest 2, the VR headsets we're giving away is the opportunity to schedule a time, a one-on-one session with the InvArch team in VR. So we're really offering that as well. So I just wanted to share that because, again, in order to participate in that, you have to be following us on Twitter. So apart from just the fact that as an ambassador, that just starts you off in the program with a baseline of at least 5 points, which is awesome. It's pretty sweet, pretty easy to do. It's also, once we launch this campaign, and again, it'll be in the coming days, it's also going to enter you for a chance to win an Oculus Quest 2 from the Embark team. So, yeah, just want to throw that out there. Official details are coming. I wasn't supposed to share this yet. I'm just really excited, and I wanted to, I wanted to let you guys know.
That is awesome. So I don't know what else incentivization the community needs to make sure that you're registered with Gleam and following us on Twitter. Because not only will you see 5 points, which goes directly towards the rewards pool. I know everyone's still expecting the announcement of a TGE, which we will have as soon as we can. Regular update with that.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that too. So the
Okay.
tech stuff I'll get to.
Okay, but yeah, as far as like we said, making sure that you're registered with Gleam, following Twitter, because now you're not only going to be earning 5 points, which is a decent amount of Varch token and rewards already as it is. You're going to be registered as well to possibly enter one of the 3 Quest Oculus 2s and get a chance to hang out with us in VR. Um, okay, to continue a little bit. We are now officially in round 4. This round is stretching from January 22nd until February 21st. We have a 9 million Varch allocation as well for this round, just similar to last round. Um, and you can expect this one to end February 22nd.
Well, wait one sec. Sorry. Wait, we have 10% on. No, you're right. You're right with the math. I'm sorry. I sound embarrassing myself. Let me stop.
No, you're okay. All right. Following that, we explain the regional breakdown. I'm not going to tell everybody where their country is. Um, okay, this is kind of a new thing, so I'm going to touch on this a bit, even though we're kind of doing one right now. The ambassador syncs, they are a new thing. So on the 15th of every month, me and the global ambassadors, we're going to get together and basically brainstorm, execute growth strategies, any type of ideas that we might have come up with to improve the program. Because we here at the InvArch team, we don't pretend to be perfect. So we like having suggestions from those who come within our community. We like to see the suggestions that they would make, and if we can implement them and make the community better for everybody, then that's what we do. So essentially, that's what those are for, is a time where the head global ambassadors from each region can kind of relay their thoughts and questions, get them answered, and really just synergized for the betterment of the community. The regional syncs, they're just during the first week of every month, no matter what region you're a part of, as long as it's a region that has a global ambassador or regional ambassadors, at least a part of it. The global ambassador of that region is supposed to provide a kind of like a weekly update or a monthly update, if you will, in the first week of the month. Um, and it basically is just touching on achievements that InvArch has had during that month, basically explaining to their side of the community the tech updates that have occurred, any changes that we've announced that are coming that haven't happened yet. For example, they would make an announcement of the Quest 2 thing to their community respectfully, letting them know to partake in that. Um, and then we have this program sync, which happens on the 28th of every month, same time, 11 p.m. UTC, where we get together, usually probably with 1 or 2 other members from the InvArch team. Today, we were gracious enough to be blessed with Dakota's attendance. And we get together, discuss any awesome changes that the team's got going on behind the scenes potentially. I provide any essential updates to you all that need to be announced on a ambassador scale for everyone, um, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page. So as far as that goes right now, the only thing to make sure that you're on the same page about is making sure that, for one, you definitely have the updated ambassador handbook, because the first 2 days, once we had kind of made this big push, there was a lot of edits made to it, a lot of smaller ones. So just make sure that please that you have the most updated version, so that way everyone's on the same page. And on top of that, make sure that you check out the white paper. It's still kind of hot off the desk. So we know not everybody has read it yet, but please do try to. It is an expectation as an ambassador that you keep up to date with those things and you make sure that you understand what it is that you're representing. All right. And then as far as that goes, the only other thing to touch on as far as community right now, in the handbook, there was a updated list of what we called an InvArch glossary, kind of touching on the names of everything. Um, think of it kind of like a dictionary, but related to InvArch terms. And everyone should try to familiarize yourself with the things in there because not all of them have ever been discussed. Some of them are brand new. We're literally creating new technology. So you need to try to familiarize yourself with the terms because we're sure that they're going to be discussed more. As far as the community goes, I think that's about everything. Dakota, if you want to go ahead and touch on the tech.
Yes, that's the main reason I chimed in. I also want to clarify. I appreciate everyone like when they highlight like yeah I'm just a man. Yeah, if, like when I show up for things, nothing special. It's a team effort behind the project. But I just wanted to, main reason I want to chime in is to again review some of the larger updates that have happened. As everyone's noticed, we've had the new rollout of the InvArch .network website, which thanks to Yaroslav Gagarin in the Discord, our UX UI designer, he designed the website so that the fresh new look is all thanks to him. But with that, there's a lot of great information on there that's available. Reinforcing those changes to the terms that we made several weeks back. Addressing things as IP files, IP sets, IP tokens. We even touch on a bit of some of the new staking mechanisms. But like Casey said, the white paper is where a majority of the content is. It's really exciting. Some of the things that are coming about, some tech that we're also working on. Um, I'd like individuals. I think a good way to imagine what we're doing, because remember, it's at the protocol level, the type of architecture that we're providing allows individuals to store. We're all very familiar with files on our computers. We're all very familiar with storing files and folders, from moving one file from this folder to that folder, to structuring our code and our programs and an organization of files and folders and so on and so forth. And what InvArch is doing is it's streamlining the process of having the same, IP files, and instead of folders, we have IP sets, streamlining the process of having that information, of having that data, but authenticating it using a series. And we touch on this briefly in the white paper, but different hashing methods and routing algorithms in order to not just authenticate a file. So it's not just to give it its own unique data fingerprint, as it's called, but also to then proactively protect it. So whenever another IP file is created, what's called a SIM hash can be referenced or using a rounding algorithm, and it's able to detect the similarities or the near similarities between different files. So doing this to proactively protect the unauthorized use, copying, theft, however you want to name it, of information, of data. So it's some of the things that we go in, we talk about a bit more in the white paper. Um, but also, like, again, supercharging files and folders as we know it to IP files, IP sets. We also, again, we have the pegged IP tokens. Something that the team, we were just actually talking about the other day. And of course, we would append the white paper if needed. But so to every IP set is an asset ID, which is related to the IP token. However, we're exploring having sub assets as well, so that you can have a one IP set and it has let's say level one. Okay, just the general IP tokens. There's a million of them. These tokens are general access. They're loose access. It's mainly what you would imagine as a typical ERC20 token. They're used for fundraising. They're used for governance. They're used to provide the ability to use an application, so on and so forth. But then you can have a sub asset, let's say a level two of that IPT, a sub asset. Now, possessing this, let's say there's 100 of them. Possessing one of these sub assets gives you then customizable or different permissions, so to speak. So imagine uh, being given admin, rights over an IP file, over IP sets, the ability to make certain edits and things like that, versus just being able to fundraise and having actual level of voting participation. This gives you edit rights. Then, so to speak, or hypothetically, you could have another, a level 3 sub asset. It's all linked the same IP teams all linked through these assets, but these level 3 assets, let's say there's just 10 of them, and these are complete like ownership rights. As if anyone is familiar with setting up a Discord, you can have admins, but there's always the owner of the Discord. No matter what, they always have some a bit more exclusive rights, and it's the same idea. Different tiers of access, different levels of ownership, representing different utilities all at the same time. So it's something really exciting that we're branching off what we've been talking about. But again, I'm rambling. It's important to make sure that you're familiar with the white paper because we introduced a lot of these concepts. It really brings full circle what it is that we are aiming to achieve. I would like to imagine one day you could imagine very seamlessly a centralized GitHub even being available. The same way that you can seamlessly streamline and automate the task of authenticating your files as you push them to a repository. It's something that would be very, very easily possible using InvArch. So it's really exciting, the capabilities. We also introduced, or we elaborated a bit on some of the different on-chain funding mechanisms for IP staking. One of them is IP bootstrapping. This is very similar to it's like DApp staking that you see with Aster Network, so to speak, where you can. It's a bit different. It's kind of similar, but it's slightly different. The process is a bit, I think, simplified. So where you're just voting, you're choosing which IP set or IP sets you support in order to determine the different allocation, how network fees should be dispersed amongst the staked IP sets. That's a very simple, very straightforward mechanism. However, another mechanism that we introduce is what we call like IP farming. So, and the ability for, let's say, a project to designate a minimum amount of their IPTs, their linked IPTs, in exchange for, they want to raise X amount of Arch. Individuals can choose to divert some or all of their staking rewards to an IP set in exchange for a proportionate amount of that IP set's tokens. We're even looking into instituting to make it a safer, a more secure process, so that during this time, funds are kind of like sent to a lockbox. They're not automatically given to the IP set owner. That way, we make sure that unless the minimum threshold is met, so if they have a goal, they're going to allocate, X amount of tokens for Y amount of Arch. Then, if they don't reach that goal, then the staking rewards that would have otherwise been given to that IP set wallet account owner or owners, they'll just get redirected back to the individuals who are staking their Arch, getting the staking rewards as any normal process. We also are looking into something as really, really intricate, but also very interesting, which is IP donations. Uh, it actually gets kind of elaborate, and I'll give a quick example. So imagine someone has, $100,000 they've made that year in crypto. 20,000 of it was from staking. Right now, when they go and they do their taxes, let's say because they're at 100,000, they have to pay 25%. I'm making up numbers here, but 25% in taxes. 25% of 100,000 is 25,000. So when you take it away, they're left with 75,000. Very, very simple. However, we introduced the ability to where an individual, what would happen is they could choose to donate their staking rewards instead. And how this would work is, again, InvArch, Swiss nonprofit foundation, the funds would be donated to the InvArch treasury. An individual would choose the IP that they wish these funds to be allocated to. However, technically, the funds would be donated to the InvArch treasury, and the InvArch treasury would then allocate those funds to that IP set in the form of a grant, so to speak. Why would somebody do this? Why would they donate their staking rewards? They're just losing money. It's actually, it gets lucrative. It's actually a way to where an individual could retain more of their money. So following that same example, let's say that individual had instead chosen to donate that 20,000 instead of just keeping it and then, adding to how much they had. In that instance, okay, the individual donates 20,000. So they don't have 100,000; they just have 80,000. Now that individual, let's say if they were going to say still 25% taxes due, well that's 20,000. However, now they have a $20,000 tax write off that they could use to counterbalance that. It eliminates it basically. It cancels out the amount of taxes that they would have to pay in this hypothetical example. As a result, everything cancels out, and what they're left is they're left with $80,000. If you backtrack, this is 5,000 more dollars than the individual would have had they just kept the money for themselves and then paid their taxes on everything that they had owed. Um, so it's just something cool. I'm not going to drill too much into stuff like taxes and all of that stuff because it's not necessarily the most the sexiest chat in tech and all of that. But it's very very powerful. I feel like and again, if it can create a mechanism where individuals can donate X amount of their rewards in order to cancel out their taxes, in order to actually keep more money in their pocket, and also at the same time fund other projects, it sounds pretty good to me. So it's a big thing that we're going to be implementing as well. So something to look forward to. Helps InvArch stand out as just a really a big powerhouse for fueling innovation. But yeah, so yeah, I want to touch on all of that. We're going to be having a lot of like not updates coming out. You're going to see a lot of the tech being realized, and then us sharing those announcements with everyone, sharing demos, sharing examples, sharing videos, so on and so forth. We are still in the midst of finalizing some tech prior to testnet launch. Didn't forget about you guys, so we're very very excited about that. I do want to mention one thing because many project or not projects, many individuals have asked us about like a Kusama, like a cousin parachain, and there's nothing against it, but I really want to take a matter of a point of perspective on Kusama and its understanding. Okay, its intent was to just be just a net. It took on a life of its own, and it's beautiful. It has its own unique community. It's really amazing. I'm part of it. I'm very active. So I've found myself with a slight NFT addiction. I don't know what's going on. But the point I'm getting at is it ended up taking a life of its of its own, which is fine. But now it's a big incentivized quote unquote incentivized testnet. We love the testnet, but we want it to be free. We want to provide a testnet that is always available to individuals. Eventually, our first series of our testnet, our first launch or two, obviously will be temporary, but eventually we would like to provide a permanent testnet, but not incentivized, just completely free. You don't need to worry about anything. We want individuals to be able to fully test out InvArch, and we have some ideas on how to um, provide a test net that accurately simulates a parachain connected to a relay interacting with other parachains. Obviously we're talking with like Parity, speaking with them about that possibility, but more on that later. I just want to share that. So like if anyone has been curious, like, hey, you're going to do a Kusama testnet or Kusama chain, not against it. That's not the plan. No, that's not the plan. We'd much rather provide something that is absolutely free. Yes, always present and always there for the community, but just completely free. Just for the matter of efficiency, and what I believe is just fair and better for the community. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to get at there. But yeah, moving beyond that, I also want to mention the NFT banners. That was, I want to say, that was a smashing success. Community grew very, very rapidly. I was actually quite surprised. It wasn't that wasn't the intention. It was just a thank you. So very, very grateful for the growth that we see. Regarding the banners, where are they coming at? We have everything in place. So in order to mass mint, because we're minting a little bit over 6,000 banners and distributing them to individuals. So in order to do that, we work with the Remark team. So as you know, Bruno, the founder of Remark, he's an advisor for InvArch. So message him. We have everything ready. We have NFTs, the information, the different CSV files that their team needs, et cetera, et cetera. Quite literally, I'm just waiting to hear back. That's all. So we have all that in place. So I'm not going to tell everyone beforehand because I kind of want to surprise everyone. But I also I intended on doing it already. I actually I had hoped who had dropped the NFT banners as of last Wednesday, but the process has just been taking a little bit longer. But that's okay. I don't want to promise this weekend, but I really, really hope that they drop that we can get them out to everyone this weekend. Really excited to share them as well. Let me see. Let me just run back in my head, make sure I'm not missing anything too significant. There's one other topic I want to get to, but as far as the tech side of things go, I'm missing quite a massive one, the TGE.
I was
So
just getting ready to say. I was gonna say, I
I
gotta
heard you.
ask.
I heard the chime in, and I'm like, all right, what am I forgetting?
Yep.
All right, so yeah, regarding the TG, so this is actually as far as instead of it just being like vague, like blank statements of it's coming, there's actually, you guys can check. So what we're waiting on is just one final thing. Again, we are using the state mint common good Polkadot parachain in order to mint the Varch token. Why? It's a bunch of technical strategic reasons we've explained in the past, but short, quick, one-word answer: interoperability. Um, the seamlessness of that, at least eliminating the process, the number of steps to making the token and future like module integration, airdrops, making all that as smooth as possible. So that's why we're using the statement chain. However, in order to use the statement chain, we have to be allowed to use the statement chain. That kind of just how it works. So it's not permissionless yet, which means that we can't use it. Only members of the Polkadot Council can. And while we have members of the Polkadot Council actually supporting our project or invested in the project, it doesn't mean it doesn't give them excuses to start minting tokens. That's not how it works either. They're trying to smooth everything out, and there's literally one last specific issue. And from what we were told, once it's regarding disputes, once once that issue is resolved in GitHub, if anyone is interested, you can go and check out the GitHub repository for statement. You can go over there, track the issue. Once this issue gets resolved, pushed, everything's good. I imagine just one or a few last final tests, and then it's going to be permissionless. That's what we've been told. So this could be any moment. I mean, it could be any day. It could be. I don't see it taking terribly long. I don't want to put any undue pressure on the team over there because they work on many different things. And that being said, there are many, but albeit small teams working on many different things. So everything's getting done in due time at a good pace. But I just wanted to just remind everyone about that. But also to give some good news in the fact that it's just one issue we're waiting on. Personally, if you'd like to, you can go track it yourself. I have another call I have to get to after this meeting, but as long as I remember to, actually, I'll find the link. I'll share it either directly with everyone in the community, or I'll share it with Casey, and he can share it with everyone. That way, again, you can track the issue, because once this is good to go, we're good to go. I'm just specifying that. I feel bad. I do. I do feel bad. Our original expectation was last November. Obviously, it's past that and a decent bit. So I do apologize. I feel bad. But I don't want anyone to think that it's negligence or anything like that. Just going with the flow, doing everything. We're staying up to date on everything, and as soon as it's all set in place and permissionless, then we're going to go ahead and share the announcement, share the information on how to be set up and ready to go. We'll start to get that party started. Apart from the TGE, NFT banners, mentioning all that, just reminding everyone, make sure you just go in, review the white paper. I also wanted to note that in the future, what we're going to be exploring are ways to further democratize the ambassador program. So introducing streamlined, smooth, and easy processes, but ways so that ambassadors can actively make proposals, propositions, even extending more, I guess, admin rights to global ambassadors, and allowing the program to, I guess, to a degree, take its own shape, to become the community's program. Obviously things are a bit centralized to start. It's how most things have to be. But as the community grows, I want it to become a community program that is run by the community, defined by the community, and realized by the community. Um, so yeah, we'll just keep that in mind. We're going to be exploring some of those, talking about those things, and slowly rolling things out, getting everyone's input, because we want to make it a very active, healthy program. I don't know if anyone has, if anyone's like gone back and done the math, and USD wise, but it's a very, very, very rewarding program. Um, Once we get the CG going, sorry guys, but very rewarding program. With that, it's really important, and if you genuinely care about the project, it's really important that we spread this opportunity to be involved, this opportunity to financially benefit the everything. We want to expand that to as many people as possible, and with that, I think allowing the community to end up, in the long term, decentralizing the program fully and allowing the community to really decide it all, will be a key part of that. Yeah, little things. And I personally want to say, I want to thank Casey for giving him time off to get settled in with his family. Well, it's not a whole new family, but his new daughter. Getting settled in with his new daughter and enjoying just those precious early days, early times with her, and being there for his wife and everything, and his family. So I just want to thank him for being here. Um, because I know it's an ambassador, make you would assume, but I had given him time off, so this was he was nice enough to make sure he was here for this. So I want to thank him for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I love my job. I love taking care of the community in every way that I can. And honestly, they've been great so far about it. I mean, um, everyone's been very respectful and understanding if I've taken a short time to get back to them or a long time to get back to them, due to just being out with dealing with family and baby. She's a very needy, messy little girl. So while I'm dealing with that, I appreciate everyone's patience.
And other thing is now, mine. This is I don't want to steal your thunder. This is your show, Casey. But I don't know if do you allow ambassadors to chime in at the end of this? I'd like to, if there's like anyone had any questions or anything, I would love to.
Oh yeah,
Um,
so I don't think anybody had directly stated it, but if you had any questions, you can put one of them into the ambassadors channel, with the little glasses emoji guy who looks smart. There is one question there already, so I'll go ahead and say it out loud.
Also, I just want to also, if I apologize, I'm not trying to discriminate, but if you speak English, or decent English, you can request to speak. We can chime in. I'm just not good at I can't translate on the spot.
Yeah, yeah, neither can I. So there's one written question. It was by Milky Cookie from Mayhem Nodes. He asked if there is any plan to allow the ambassadors interested in operating a collator to help support the project in that way.
Oh, absolutely, of course. Now, obviously, this is a bit in advance, but when this time comes, well, I'll say this: when the time comes, obviously, like there, it's up to the community to if anyone want to choose how to go about if they would want to do such a thing. Um, but if like they're asking for like I guess like specific like support or backing um, from us, I mean, obviously we want to have. There's obviously a certain number, and we have incentive programs actually down the road. In place. So when that time comes, there are ambassadors who are interested. Now, again, we're going to be having some incentive programs at the start there. So yeah, that's definitely like a yes on all accounts there. Absolutely. Just when that time comes, by all means, you can either make it publicly known or reach out to us directly. And as long as everything aligns, then we can see what we can also do to make personally, help out there.
Perfect. Okay. Let me see if anybody else has written any other questions in that time. Doesn't look like anybody else has asked any questions thus far. I'm going to allow just like 1 to 2 minutes really quick. If you have a question, please go ahead and put it in the ambassadors channel. Or if you speak good English, go ahead and please request like speaking rights really quick, and we can see what we can do. Um, okay.
I mean, if
Um,
not, why I've had a headache this whole time.
we appreciate you being here
So I
with
never
us
get
as
any.
well.
I need to drink more water. No, I ought to be here. It'd be kind of a, all these changes. I feel like I'd be irresponsible if I wasn't.
Milky Cookies said, "Thank you so much for the answer. That's great, and he's looking forward to it." It does appear that we're getting one more question right now, so I'm going to let him finish
Awesome.
typing and ask his
I like
question.
the name, by the way, Milky Cookies. I dig it.
It is a nice, funny name.
While we're waiting, I just want to say also, just like prepare yourself. We have like a lot of wheels turning at the same time, and there's one specific thing that I've been working on, and it's just been the PR exposure. Specifically, like having this shared, our seed round. Obviously, like the information, the amount, it's more or less kind of like known, it's out there. But the formal announcement of this, it's important to us to take advantage of this opportunity, this time, sharing this news. So, what was holding things up was finalizing. Just because in the space, like $1.75 billion is an egregious amount of money to me. However, in the world of crypto, um, like $5 million is apparently nothing to a lot of places. So, getting listed on a major crypto news source was a big goal of ours, and uh, looks like we have done that. Waiting to hear back one final message. Once I get that final green light, it's gonna be really awesome. I get massive exposure, literally millions of people, potentially being exposed to the project. Hopefully they like it and then they join the community. But that's what's been holding things up. So that is being wrapped up literally as we speak, and then we're going to be having those announcements. And once we start pushing those announcements, just expect just a domino of new information every couple of days. Just boom, things rolling out. But the big thing that I've been waiting for was to finish to first start with our seed announcement. So it's been like stacking up other announcements, just like kind of like pushing them back and waiting. So yeah, just really excited for all that. I've been really excited. I'm happy for all this to be going the direction that it's been going.
Yeah, everything's been going awesome. So it doesn't look like anybody else is typing any questions or anything. The only other thing that I wanted to personally say was once again I wanted to thank everybody for their patience. I'm going to be posting this video on YouTube as well. I've recorded this, so if those of you who have friends that are ambassadors who it was too late or too early or they weren't able to attend, this is going to be publicly posted, so anybody will be able to view it afterwards as well.
I also, my apologies again, impromptu. This wasn't planned, but might as well share it with you all first before we make formal announcement this Monday. But we do have a new InvArch tech joining the team. Sora is his username in the Discord. He's I just noticed him in here now, which reminded me. He's joining our team as in the back end as a Rust substrate developer. Very excited and happy to have him be joining the team. The team's growing. We're really excited, and it's hard to find good talent in the Rust world. And Sora, he's amazing. So we're really excited. I'm looking forward to the future. So I just want to let you guys know first that we got someone else, a new member of the team joining. We'll be updating the website and everything in the coming days as well to include more information. So, yeah, sorry for surprising everyone with that, Sora, but want to introduce you.
Very exciting stuff. So we did have a couple more questions come through really quick, if we got the time.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
what
no,
will the specifications be for the test net? And if I missed filling out the airdrop form, is there still a way to fill it out? Was one question
so
asked.
regarding also the airdrop. So regarding the airdrop, that is finished. I mean, you can still, if you were still register your wallet. I mean, there may very well could be future events or reasons to be registered in the future for certain things. However, regarding the specific NFT banners, that information has been finalized. The again, like I said, everything that's needed to be supplied by InvArch to the Remark team has already been created and supplied. So that includes the list of recipients, the NFTs, the numbers of NFT banners, etc., so on and so forth. Regarding specifications, let me try back in for the test net. We're still finalizing details on that, so I'll probably be able to get back to debate. I want to say this Monday. I was trying to include some information in the InvArch weekly update I'm drafting currently, regarding just the test net. We're still finalizing some details, like I said, because how we would prefer to roll it out. There's two different methods to roll it out. One, it's just our own versus like Rococo. So there's two different methods, so to speak. So once we finalize this, I'll make sure to do so by Monday. That way, I can chime back in. Either myself or Gabe will come back in, and we'll reach out to the community directly and just let individuals have a little update regarding the exact specifications, the path that we're going to be choosing for this.
Okay. Milky Cookie asked another question. He said, "Any thoughts on onboarding infrastructure partners interested with collating on the network?"
Yes, there. I'm not gonna name drop. There's one that we're kind of already working with. Have been working with, at least a subsidiary project of theirs. We've been working with. So the immediate answer is yes, of course.
All right. And for now, it looks like that's all the questions that have been typed. Don't believe anybody has request access to speak, which is totally fine. We don't want to put anybody on the stage pressure if they don't want it. um, so with that's everything. I believe that will wrap up our first ambassador sync, the first one where it included everybody. Um, Dakota, do you have
So I
anything
do
else
want
to
to
say?
also. Oh, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to thank everyone who did decide to show up here as well. I know this is new. A lot of individuals are in different time zones than us, so we try to pick up a little bit later in our day. Um, so we do apologize again to those who weren't able to make it, but really, really greatly appreciate. And we see everyone who's here now who did participate and took the time to be here. We appreciate that. It stands out. We realize these things. So, Chris Moore's boosting the server. I just noticed that. Thank you. Sorry. But yeah, we do appreciate everyone that took the time to be here. We appreciate everyone who's been keeping up with the updates. We appreciate everyone who's been sharing the updates. We appreciate everyone's support. We've just been bustling through, been trying to stay busy, focused, just we got a lot going on. It's really, really exciting. So just trying to deliver products as much as possible. So we've been working on the tech and getting everything in place to start releasing updates, sharing MVPs, sharing like a beta that we've been working on for a certain product. That way we can walk more than we're talking the talk, so to speak. So I just want to really, really appreciate everyone who's been following along in this journey. We got a lot of awesome stuff, literally just days, moments away from being released. Translations on the white paper taking a little bit longer than I thought, but that's okay. I'm not going to complain to the individual. I don't want to rush anyone. They're doing the translations as fast as they require. So really, really appreciate there. We're going to be having those hopefully by the end of the month, but definitely the latest will be the first week of February. But yeah, with all that, I also just want to share my thanks. Yeah, that's the big thing.
All
I'm really,
right.
really, really grateful for everyone who's here. This means a lot to me. And I promise we got some really awesome stuff about to kick off. Really about to really change some dynamics in the blockchain industry in some really major ways. So it's just I don't know. It's really cool to see everyone here now because I know that a few months from now, it's going to be fantastic. And it's just again, it means a lot that we're all here now together near the beginning. Um, looking forward to the future.
All right. Just one last question here to kind of close things up. We're almost at an hour's length. Um, this is a question directly from a global ambassador, Cap. He wanted to know, will Varch be tradable only after winning a Polkadot slot, or will it be available before that?
So regarding being tradable, so here's two things. One, as regarding a centralized exchange listing, we have them in place. Those like lockdown, obviously, if you've taken notice to one of our lead investors, and some of our other investors as well, we already have certain agreements for centralized exchange listings locked up post parachain securing. Now, whatever if decentralized exchanges dexes we don't have necessarily control over those. However, we would like to limit if possible try and limit trading at first, but again, decentralized is decentralized. So whatever happens after that. But as far as pursuing centralized exchanges, like listings on, for example, Huobi or Gate or KuCoin, things like that, those we won't, our team won't be pursuing to like establish until for the parachain for the slot auction.
All right. Well, I think that was the last question. Uh, uh, I guess
The only
if
I'll say this: if what we don't want is for the token people trading the token when there isn't utility. That's important. And why don't we? Because it's a moral thing. It's I feel like it's not right to to promote a project, to promote a token, to promote a cryptocurrency when there isn't actual utility for the cryptocurrency. I feel like it's just like a money scheme, if we're being honest. So it
yeah,
is. It's just like a moral and ethic thing. Now, mind you, we're working on some beta. We have some exciting stuff, but we're launching as a parachain. So the main thing is providing that functionality first and foremost, and then being like proving, like I said, we want to walk the walk and then we'll talk the talk. We want to prove everything, show the world what we got, and then let everyone go nuts. But yeah, yeah, last whole topic there.
all right. There was one more question asked. We still got about 3 minutes. It's kind of an important question. So this has been something that we've said like we would touch on eventually, but nobody's asked directly about. So they asked, can we go over the vesting of tokens for ambassadors, especially the first 2 months? They asked.
Yeah. So there's actually a change in the white paper. I believe I had actually decreased the vesting period for ambassadors by 1 month. So there's no increase, only a 1 month decrease. Regarding other entities, everything stayed the same. Why was there the decrease? Community first. Honestly, I just wanted to make sure that the if anyone were to experience an unlocking of their tokens first, it's the broader community. So I just decrease the vesting terms by 1 month for a community. That way, they have a 1 month edge over any other entity or party thereafter, whether that is a fund, a VC, or even myself.
Right. All right. Well, I believe that is all the questions. No, nobody's asked any other questions. Dakota, we want to, thank you as well for being here with us and answering all of our questions on the technical side. Hanging out with the community is always fun. I know they're going to be excited about these challenges and a little bit of the behind the scenes information that you talked about with us. I know I'm excited because I had kind of missed out on the meetings this week, so even I got to hear some newer, exciting information. But I'm sure I'm going to get caught up with you here shortly. Is there any other things that we want to update the community on?
Nope, just hang tight. We got a lot of news updates coming, and yeah, get ready to participate and hopefully win an Oculus Quest too. I'd really looking forward to. It's really cool. I'm looking forward to having a meet, maybe playing some games with one of you guys. It'd be pretty awesome, or gals,
That would be pretty fun.
one of the community members, whoever's interested, whoever wins.
As far as the community members go who plan on participating in that, may the odds be ever in your favor. Um,
From
but
Hunger Games.
from Hunger Games, yes. All right, but with that, I believe we're going to go ahead and close. Once again, we just want to thank everybody for being here. We know for some of you it's pretty early, and for some of you it's pretty late. So thank you for taking the time out of your morning or evening to hang out with us and get caught up.
Yeah, so let's say thank you everyone. I really appreciate seriously. I appreciate each and every one of you here. We got a lot of stuff coming. Banners are coming any moment, day. They're coming really soon. Same with the TGE date. Waiting on one single issue. Then it's go time. About to be releasing the actual announcement of our the PR for our seed round. Teams growing, a bunch of stuff. It's exciting. I'm excited. But yeah, I also got to go. I have to hop off. So thank you, everyone. Seriously, I appreciate every one of you guys. You're all rock stars in my eyes. Just thank you very much. And yeah, here's to building the future.
All right. It's been a fun evening. All right, everybody. I hope you have a good morning / rest of your evening. And the InvArch techs are out.